is I'm gonna start on Quizlet first, reviewing some questions, and I'm gonna go to Chat GDP. And in between, I'm gonna add more and more content as it goes. So I'm gonna start with this first. A music educator wants to use body movements to help students understand specific music concepts. Which type of movement should effectively demonstrate the idea of musical phrasing? Arching arm movement. The third space note in alto clef is D. Which of the following are influenced in traditional East African music? Colonization. This is from the last video, most of these questions. Which of the following strategies is most effective for developing sight reading skills in beginning band? Simple rhythms are to be played on scales before sight reading full pieces. A middle school band director notices several students experience discomfort while playing instruments. What is the most critical approach to addressing physical strain during musical performance? Teach and consistently reinforce proper posture, instrument positioning, and warming up techniques. A guitar student in jazz band sees the direction to play a solo in the style of Wes Montgomery. What best describes his style of improvisation? Modal jazz. The Ride of the Valkyries was written in 1820-1900. Okay. A group of students has transcribed a popular song played by ear and wants to publish a transcription online. Which of the following actions will comply with the copyright law? Obtain permission from the copyright holder for publishing the transcription. How should the duration of learning activities can be adjusted to match the attention span of students? Elementary style being short periods, 10 to 15 minutes, with quicker transitions between the tasks. Okay, and I'm going to go to the 10 right here. I'm just going to answer the questions briefly. Alright. Which of the following developing? Okay, so this one. Alright, third place. Alright, so D. Alright, I'm just gonna answer it fast. Yeah, got. Okay. Right? Okay, so. And one more. Musical features is what I missed the other day. Musical features smooth, balanced phrases, clear cadences, and homophonic texture. Classical. The next part of this video, I want to dig a lot deeper. I'm gonna start on topics from easy to hard on all subjects relating to music for the practice. First of all, I'm gonna start with simple music theory questions. Just to see how I know it. Very easy. Alright. How many lines are in okay, alright. Let's see if I know this one. How many lines are on a standard music staff? 5. What symbol tells you the pitch of the notes? God dang it. accidental. What is the first 7 letters of the musical alphabet? Oh, okay, that's an interesting one. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because it goes from A to G and it goes back, and after G it starts it back to A. So, but it's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G being the first 7. What clef is usually used for high pitched instruments and voices? Treble. How many beats does a whole note get in 4/4 time? 4 of them. Which note gets 1 beat in 4/4 time? Quarter note. How does a sharp, well no, what does a sharp do to a note? When there's a sharp, it raises the pitch by half of a step. And the flat, and that's the next one over, the flat lowers the pitch by half of a step. And accidental, which is, I don't think it's on this one, an accidental cancels that sharp or that flat in the measure. So that answers all that questions here. How many beats are in a measure of 3/4 time? 3. Very simple. Top number already says the harmonies in that measure. It's 3. What is the name of the distance between 2 notes? Intervals. Intervals. The name of the distance between 2 notes. And we have seconds, thirds, fourths, sixths, sevenths, and all the way to the octaves. They are referred to as intervals. Repeat it. The distance between 2 notes is an interval. Which scale has no sharps or no flats? I'm going to provide 2 names on this one. I'm going to get technical. Let's see if I can. I'm going to do a major and a minor scale. The major C has no sharps and no flats. If it's asking about a relative minor, I'm going to say A, being this A minor being on that same situation. What's the relative minor of C major? I just said that. Dang it. I just already killed that question and say relative minor of C major is A. I just killed that question. Which dynamic marking means loud? Forte. Which dynamic meaning soft? Piano? Piano soft. Which symbol tells the musicians to play louder gradually? Crescendo. I'm going to see an answer key just to prove my brain. Alright. I just already got these right. Okay, let's make harder medium theory questions. Medium questions. Let's round it up really hard. Okay. How many half steps are in a major scale pattern? 2 of them. Gonna think whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. There will already be 2 of them. Because the rest are whole steps. What is the key signature of G major? 1 sharp. What is the relative minor of E flat major? C minor. What is the interval from C to G? Perfect fifth. What type of chord is built on the first scale degree of a major scale? tonic. In 6/8 time, how many beats are in each measure? In 6/8 time. 2. What note is a leading tone in the key of D flat? Alright. What note is a leading tone in the key of D major? C sharp. What is the dominant chord is the key of C major? G. What interval is up from A to C? From a third, minor third, if I gotta be that specific. Because a minor third is A to C. If I had an A and a C sharp, it would sound more like a major third, I believe. What does allegro mean? Like fast, like play be fast. How many sharps are in the key of A major? 3 of them. Was a parallel minor of C major? C minor. What type of triad has a root, a minor third, and a perfect fifth? What type of triad has a root, a minor third, perfect fifth? Minor third, perfect. Minor, because if it started with a root, if you lowered the third, it's a minor triad. So 13 is a minor. What symbol raises a note by 2 half steps? Sharp. What cadences end on a dominant chord, it sounds unfinished. Yeah, I know. Sounds unfinished. What cadence ends on a dominant half cadence? Alright. Oh, shit, I didn't know there's 12 half steps. Okay, I didn't know that question. And if, 12 half steps. I'll have to rethink that question. Oh, okay. I thought it was 2 of them. Okay, that's where I have to look at that question again. On that one. That's okay. But the rest I got right. Good. Except for 14. 14 is a double sharp? Okay, that's a little tricky on that one. That's okay. But most of them I did get correct. Let's do some music history. Change the questions up a notch. Okay, music history questions. Change it up. Alright. Alright. Let's push it. Let's push the tone. Let's try these first. What musical period came first, the Baroque or the Classical? Okay, if I know my history, Baroque was from the period from the 1600s to the 1750s. I believe Baroque is first because it was the 16th century. So Baroque, Classical is 1750s, 1820s. I think that's that period. I'm going to say Baroque. Who is known as the father of the symphony? Oh, God dog it. Could be good question. Haydn? Which period is Bach associated with? Bach. Johann Sebastian Bach. Who is he associated with? since I know classical started after Bach's death, I would have to honestly say it is the Baroque. Which musical period followed the classical period? If I know my periods, okay, the medieval is first, follows with the Renaissance era, that's 15th century. 16th century, it would go into Baroque. Alright. Classical is 1750s to the 1820s. The period that followed that classical would have to be the 1820s to about 1900s. So that is going to be the romantic? I'm pretty sure it's romantic for that one. Who composed the Four Seasons? Vivaldi. Beethoven is considered a major composer of which period? Classical. Which texture has one melody with accompaniment? A melody. One main with accompaniment. Is it monophonic? Which composer wrote many famous operas, including The Magic Flute? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Gregorian chant comes from which historical period? Good guess. Because it is from Pope Gregory the Great. Pope Gregory had to be during the time that church was sacred. The music was sacred. Music was in the church. The cantor was the one that led the congregation in with the music. I'm going to say for number 9 is going to be medieval. I'm pretty sure. Which period emphasizes emotion in larger orchestras? Romantic. Who was a famous Baroque composer known for piano and died young? Romantic composer. Okay, who would be my romantic composer? If I was to guess somebody, that could be wrong. Could it be Chopin? Which 20th century style uses no tonal center? Sir, that's what I don't know. Don't know that one. Okay. I really admit I don't know number 12. Who composed The Rite of Spring? Stravinsky. Which period used a harpsichord as a main keyboard instrument? Baroque. And jazz began in what country? United States. Let's see the answer key just to get a glimpse. Okay. Alright. Oh, atonal music. That's the one I didn't know. But the rest I did know this. Wait, what about number 6? Okay. That's the only one I didn't know, and the rest of them I knew. That's crazy. I got number 7 wrong. Okay, I meant that. I meant 7's wrong. Homophonic. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check in my phonics on this one. Checking that one all together. But not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Can it challenge me deeper? Instrumental questions. Instrumental questions. Let's see if we can challenge it deeper. Alright. So I'm going to challenge it deeper. Alright. What instrument has the highest pitch in the woodwind family? The piccolo? Which brass instrument typically plays the lowest note? Tuba? What family does the violin belong to? String? How many vowels does a standard trumpet have? 3. What instrument uses a double reed and is a part of the woodwind family? Oboes? I think bassoons could follow too. What class does the bassoon usually read? Bass, I think. And sometimes it can be tenor. I've seen it in some of the fingering charts. What percussion instrument has a definite pitch in a keyboard layout? What instrument has Okay, so we have 3 of these guys that can't have that kind of situation. Because you got a glockenspiel that has a keyboard already. You already got something called a xylophone. That's a keyboard layout. A vibraphone's a keyboard. A marimba is a darn keyboard. Those 3, pretty much, are your keyboards. So that can, I would say those 3. Any one of those 3. Which string instrument is the largest in the orchestra? It's the bass. What brass instrument uses a slide instead of valves? Trombone. What woodwind instrument is usually made of metal and uses a single reed? Made of metal. Saxophone. What instruments commonly used to tune the band or the orchestra? Oboe. What instrument family produced by vibrating strings? String. What brass instrument is used in marching bands? It wraps around the player. Okay, wait, if it wraps around the player from the shoulder to the side, I think it's I think it's gotta be a tuba. What's the lowest string on the violin? Oh wait, the lowest string on the violin, and I think I gotta say, if I remember my math classes, A, E, D, G, I think it's the A. What instrument keeps a steady rhythm in a concert band using snare and bass drum? A steady rhythm. Percussion. Enter key. Just to see. I say yeah. Okay. Said most of these pretty much. But wait, I recognize it as a sousaphone. How in the world is that a sousaphone? Good question. And I did say piccolo, but I should have flute. Okay. Alright. Most of, but I don't get why there's a G. I might as well get the range of but not I'm busy.